Hi guys, welcome back to my study live. Now the time is 22 o'clock 30. We're gonna begin the night study session. I just finished eating and feel not very much hungry, but the food which I ordered is really tasty somehow today. And from Lieferando, recently, to exactly say, it's yesterday and before yesterday, I was considering to put the products which I bought daily in my YouTube channel's description within every study live streams and so on. I want to share with you guys and what I'm daily buying because that was a huge amount of goods. So I am not sure whether I can move to another place smoothly. But the things are uncertain. I also do not know what's gonna come and happen and so on in the near future. So I'm gonna begin for today's study session. And yesterday I uploaded one university video log that was 22. Since last year, 2022, I almost nearly 1 or 2 months ago uploaded a university video log or copy video log and so on. Site road initiative was the today's topic, which I should read the literature. I imported the articles and paper in my GoodNotes so that I can easily read them. But I am still not sure that I have smoothly no problem with this registration and so on. But I trust professor. I think if he said that will be okay and with the signature and so on, then the process will be fine. And I also need to ask the faculty and so on. But I don't want to encounter with them. The reason is very complicated. Like they try to set a lot of barriers that is not needed to, for example, like not to other students, and that treatment is very unequal, and I don't know why. I guess they could think that I am easily be handled so that they're gonna set more barriers and set more semesters and years for me, like to let me pay more and so on. I don't like them, but it is like the process thing, and we only need to deal with it. So today I was questioning something about some breaking down dancer and so on. I find it interesting because it reminds me think like how the action with the mind harmonize with each other and so on. But we're gonna first look the natural communication, and there are several new articles that can be read. That's reason my interest, though I am not a medical student. So, and today as well, and I bought one bottle of Coca-Cola. I shouldn't too because I usually like the plastic bottle instead of the Canon, the 易拉罐. So yeah, but it is in the main menu so that I cannot change it somehow. Yeah, let's find something interesting to read. I got 3 new lies and I try to use them, but somehow it is not very. Oh yeah, like this one. Somehow when I see the lights, I feel much more better. I don't know why. Yeah. So this is a cat light. I recently, since July, I guess, really like one economist in behavior area. Thought, um, yeah, but somehow that was not my yeah considered area a bit, and so not possible. That is today. I found one article. The name is the airway microbiota of neonates colonized with asthma associated pathogenic bacteria. What amazing! And a lot of small mushrooms and so on. Cool. Um, yeah, okay. Yeah, I bought several stationaries today. Well, first share with you guys, and absolutely that's not the advertisement, but it is very important. Hold on. This is the order which I'm gonna use for another country, and um, several other things, and to protect the documents and so on. And another gray order, it is like the website of this foreign university based in a near country, and this somehow is also impressive, so I bought it. And um, this new color pen, and which the color is really light, so I really like it. So I bought it. And the back, if it is possible, I will. Yeah, okay. It's from Boston, the Drogerie Markt. It is like 屈臣氏 in China and so on. Recently, I got a lot of strange feelings since I yesterday connected with one course based in German university by the name as China and the World Economy. I suddenly think, okay, uh, somehow the feeling is so strange I couldn't tell. Um, One thing is that this professor already have several lectures in this German university, and I absolutely and he already worked in the teaching area for nearly almost 30 years, and I kindly cannot think that out why yeah uh, and 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 I got that feeling that he's first um, teaching this area in German university, but he already experienced a lot, like almost almost 4 years ago, I guess 4 years ago almost. Starts with connects in some accent with German university. So the area and the feeling shouldn't feel so strange, like so unfamiliar with. But I got a feeling like this professor who is currently in China, not in Germany, so the course always online, and I somehow do not know in which kind of switch models to think the problem. And if, for example, this course only talk the issue in the academic context or academic purpose and so on, or academic background information and so on, then we can purely only discuss anything like in some China economic um, situation and so on, then things get more easier. But now currently I think, okay, there are a lot of left it free time to think of those kind of broad issues. And I I don't know, like, standpoints which I best like from a Chinese, and to talk about in the Chinese economy in a foreign country. That's the kind of bad judgment, or the judgment which I made several years ago towards a China scholar which comes to Germany to study China culture, and that's exactly the reverse course towards me. I absolutely know, but I if I can avoid it, reverse course, I would like to, but they are somehow wanting me to experience the feeling which you are in a foreign country, and from a foreigner perspective, not to study the Western culture, but to study your own country's economic situation and culture and so on. So I was thinking this kind of problem actually the several years ago, like 2 years ago, where I live in the student apartment in another part of the city, and I was judging another Chinese PhD student who based in Göttingen University, and I was saying, if you really want to study China culture, why you went to foreign country, like why do not stay in China and to study more deep content of this issue? I was think that is unquestionable, this argument which I put out and put in to this competitive relation with this kind of Chinese PhD who based in Göttingen University in sinology department, following the Professor Dominic and so on. So I kindly think um, I don't know, and now the university absolutely not in my site and put this new course online and in the website and wants to teach their student. No, you cannot give those kind of judgment towards a Chinese PhD in Goethe University. Instead of, you must somehow judge yourself, let you self experience how that feels, and if you are in foreign country study or all country's economic situation, and that's your must because you must finish it before next year's spring, and in order to have a smoothly transform into your next level and next degree. So what I am currently thinking about is fine, fine arts, everything's fine. But personally, that's why when I appear in the class, I cannot wear my beautiful soul, because because absolutely that the cause that are which I do not align that much with, right? But I must do that in order to quickly finish my study and so on, get my abschluss, right? That's why I think that's the reason, and and so if, for example, like I really involved into this situation, I will think in which first is in which standpoint I should stand with, and from a Chinese Chinese perspective, and to discuss some content with some foreigners or how China well developed, and how is China's problem with this high speed eco growth and so on. Yeah, absolutely, I can, but more or less from a traditional Chinese view and Chinese perspective, and how they will design this kind of issues and so on to present to others, and that's the thing which I considering. But absolutely, I know since I moved here out of the student apartment, and that so was left only since this year August. So that's why that's why I truly feel sad, truly feel not well. But they are trying to covering this kind of facts. And if, for example, like I can think in a way in a good direction, I am willing to, but the university side absolutely wants me to knowing this in my knowledge. Yeah. So even that was not very favorable to experience that recursive course. But that's that's almost the last choice of me, and I cannot freely choose between because another course was changed the category into the quantitative economics. So exactly in the day which the Nobel Prize Economics Prize put out, and that's so amazing. And yeah, but what can you tell, and what can you change it? And you're only a student, and from this point of view, and you cannot do anything, right? So um, and yeah, that's my consideration, and that's my concern actually. Um, I am prefer to involve into the environment and thinking environment and thinking context and to interact with them, not just use in Chinese and also in several other languages which they can captured with, and that's why things get strange, because I most forget that I told her about this kind of like Einführungszeichen sentence. But currently, I am in an environment that's very much pro this PhD student who based in Göttingen University, and course me several years, like 5 years almost. I never came. Yeah. So but interesting aspect is, since I involved into this lecture, and I found okay the 华东师范大学 based in Shanghai, and the university which actually has a similar symbol with Peking University, and this Chinese PhD, which I call Chinese scholar, based in Göttingen University, that was graduated from Peking University. That's why when I first saw the PowerPoints from the professor, and I suddenly understood the meaning behind. So somehow this posed by Professor SD. Recently, we got some mind conflict with each other because I am not agree with him to change two kind of thinner in my deep dream state, like in my hometown, we link with company Siemens and Simon, and and so on. But I think the after when I saw the video in Bilibili platform, I finally understood. Okay, that they are meaning somehow the high university who based in USA, but somehow this kind of light gray dusted. So that is about the issue. Like in my bachelor thesis already wrote with like HIV diseases and so on. So it is like it is it is somehow the shift perspective to expression something with HIV and so on. Yeah, with high university in USA. I won't say the university name because I don't want to link some bad aspect with with this university. But that's strange, and they are trying to change two old things in my deep dream state. One is linked with LMU Munich, and another one is high university, and so great two big new universities that that currently are changing the deep soul. And can you imagine that, like in this Bono? um I don't know. I think somehow it's very strange and complicated. They are trying to make my road more complicated and difficult. But since I first opened the PowerPoint from the professor, and because that was in a Zoom meeting instead of WebEx, that's the huge difference, which I already get used to the WebEx, but suddenly they change the context into the Chrome I never used before, and before the class like 15 minutes, and I need to download the app of Chrome and to open the web mail from university and so on. I was so and they cannot hear my voice. That's a girl's big problem, and so on. Yeah. But since I saw the symbol of university, I was yeah, okay, I understood to what Professor SD mean. And today afternoon, I went to the PC pool. I opened the 华东师范大学 again because I am not sure which kind of geographic location this university is. But finally, I found that was in Shanghai, so the same as Shanghai 交通大学 and Fudan 大学 and so on. So I was thinking, oh, okay, yeah, okay. Somehow I heard before that there's some small genius class or small talented children class and so on. It is 华东科技大学 Technical University and so on. I'm not sure, but that's interesting. And then I found one news recently in the Asian game in Hangzhou, which they put two champions out. One is GE and so on. The name I cannot remember. The number is very important because that is exactly the breaking goal. Liu Qingyi, I guess, same number but different arrangement, like different arrangement of the number, and another one as well. So that's so interesting, and yeah. So at least I will know from my point of view, this structure of the cause not against anyone, and they hold on some neutral view and not towards specific someone and not towards normalized someone and so on. So that's fun and funny and interesting. And besides, I don't know what to say actually. Okay, cool. This five things which I bought today is for another country's university. I'm not sure, and I don't have that much hope. And I think the two countries were so familiar with each other. I am not sure whether suddenly the soul drives in, and you finally want to go to that place because they have the tools to deal with. Especially when they talk about the issue in the level of HIV and several diseases. Why? Yeah, that's not important why I write this kind of topic in my bachelor thesis, and baby born and so on. Yeah, okay. So, mm, the else which I could think of upon current time point, it is it is from my own point of view, which I think currently the China economic situation, although almost I followed the mainstream like in political and economic area for several years already, like 2020, 2021. I don't remember when I start to have the worry about their purchase of caps in the conference. Yes, that's interesting, but start worry about which kind of caps they are using in their meetings and so on. But I follow them almost like solely in 2020, I guess, almost 2 to 3 years now, and which my concern, yeah, actually is very difficult to directly say. But once I need to read the literature and books from professor who recommended and so on, and personally, I don't have view yet, and I don't have the judgment yet. I don't have the bestment yet to have a comment on China economic situation. What I could observe is mostly the meetings and the in the relationship area, in the international relationship area, very complicated, and which I could observe mostly is very little, and from only my individual view, that is very sometimes is selfish, depending on the several products like the physical goods which I bought that in my daily life. But if it is the problem to bring in a higher ground, and I cannot judge it because I don't have that knowledge basement in myself. So I absolutely I don't know how and why to judge it at this kind of time point. That's why that's why upon my knowledge, and I only remember one impressive meetings in that time. When I moved into the new place, the the 0852 that comes into the round, and we start to have some solid communication and interaction with each other. And she, from her side, absolutely presents the um, Chinese interest the most, because she benefits mostly from the China current economic and political environment and situation. The reason is she just come to Germany 2 to 3 years, and I was staying here for almost a long time. So we perceive the things which happen in Germany very differently, and which impacts our view towards different China economic problem and situation and issues and so on. So what I can perceive is that since she started um, mm, to start to accepting some Western culture like eating cultures and so on. Um, I think the trade relation between these two countries getting much better as previously 2 3 years, like 2019 to 21. And afterwards things gets complicated, but I still think the main problem of China economic is that the basement issue, like, don't have the fixed ground, but the growth was exponentially. So that is very somehow, from a point of view, that is dangerous. And although the Western culture does only share 200 300 years and so on, but they still have a more stable ground, and more um, more non-averaged non-averaged population level towards China. And so I still have the traditional view towards this kind of issue, like the two extreme point, like 两极分化. In China problem that is much more obviously than in Western countries, like in France, Germany, and England, and so on. The different political forms has most impact on those two comparisons towards different economic situation. And yeah, which I could observe is currently this. And Mm, from currency perspective, I don't know, and it is like, yeah, okay, fine, yeah, absolutely. So that's my concern currently. Um, I think my private point view towards the eco situation, if we can talk that more obviously and more closely, then then that is more or less um, about the emotional state. I don't want to use the suggestion from the behavior economic professor. That is that is non-professional to suggest in using in some emotional perspective to discuss this behavior economic issue. But somehow somehow I need find enormous literature to think this kind of problem out, and which I currently understood is that the one aspect I still think the problem is the extreme points though the poor and the rich and poor's gap in China was enormous big. That's an old issue. But I think currently, if we talk about in some other perspective, then there are more aspects to be discovered, like more interesting and more true and real. Yeah, because that was an old story. Like you always say, the rich and the poor gap in China enormous goals, enormous big, because big, yeah, yeah, and um, several other things to consider, and what if I only have 2 days and to have this successful transformation into another country, and if I am so unfavorable in this current state, yeah, what I am currently thinking and upon my own knowledge is that which the Chinese students who are living in Germany or study in a similar university or same university as me, which I could observe is that um, mm, is that they are not using much more Western style as the one could expect, um, but it is hard to say, right? So in current university, they are not using much um, traditional view, and the F is not the traditional university at all, and has a shorter history than another university, high university in the same city. That's why when I at least thinking of the problem, I don't want to into the problematic with with a traditional view like link some old deep consciousness soul and link some Ivy League university and some higher university in USA and some that's shocking perspective to bring so high and suffer small most reality the people who lives in. Um, not the case, I guess. Um, mm, yeah, that's the thing which I want to talk about. And to say, for example, like if we use the in English context, which the how which the labor be well, yeah, from the labor perspective, um, and so I don't know that much, and yeah, I think the way is very complicated if you want to solve this problem in a deep context. Um, the reason is mm, the reason is mostly the thing which can be said will not determine the mind who actually determines this all. And that's why if we say that all things the cause will not have the interest to be explored with. And the reason why the search engine was so fast than the human thinking speed, it is because mostly our essential perspective was hidden in the context which your person not access with. Um, and so yeah, so yeah, don't know much about this current eco situation in China. Um, yeah, but I followed 2 to 3 years with their communication, and yeah, difficult to difficult to think with, but interesting. Which I could think is that when they have some um, meetings, like they usually talk about some eco content, but actually it is about some extremely emotional suffering and so on in aggregated level, not just not just about the currency and the money. They don't have they are sharing some neutral perspective, like the currency that's carrying on any value on it. But the problem is that they are, from my point of view, discuss some issues like mm, about justice and so on. Whether one single issue will be treated justifiedly or not. Whether one suffering that is miserable or not, that's most driven me to follow their meetings since those years. Yeah. Um. Font is not, but see above, see Gefei how suffered for this black point, and so on. Font is not, font is absolutely not. Interesting. Um, uh, I want to find some deep issues in the class, which I look forward to. Um, mm, so that's my short study live stream, and not thinking of the coming class. Maybe I cannot attend it. It depends on the faculty and so on, Fachbereich. So the time now is 24:18. We're gonna close the study live stream. Today's Friday, so have a nice weekend. We from tomorrow we'll clean the whole room and the whole room and have a meeting with them, Dong, the Vermieterin, and so on. So okay, guys, we will we will not close the study live stream, so we keep that live on. And I gonna make me a cup of hot drink, and so what I still currently think is about it is about to say recent year from last year the World Economic Forum in Davos and in Switzerland. Yeah, absolutely. I almost forget that Davos in Switzerland. Cool. And the other one is the other one the other one is this summer the NB National Bureau of Economic Research Institute holds a summer institute as summer institute for the eco researchers and so on. One which I could observe it is like this year Davos is still the same actually, and which I daily meets the person and the people from the eco area that are most foreigner, like the presents the German interests of presents the US interests and so on. So mostly their thinking style a little bit different than traditional China thinking pattern. Um, so once, for example, like in this year, January, I guess, when we when somehow this Davos meetings be hold on, and I follow the Bloomberg and several Yahoo Finance and so on, several financial medium and into this into to follow them to see what happened what's happened there. And mostly the thinking style was not cooked with the China representant because I also do not know why it is somehow like big potatized in some extent. Like really don't know how the China recently in recent year their high level meeting will be established on, and which kind of which kind of interest they are driven. I really don't know. And I try to, because last year I was linked with CJY, and he's like always too driven in this kind of high stake meeting and so on. So I currently, I in that time before was linked to those kind of big potato types person. But I don't know, I still like the thinking style in Western culture, like for the professor and so on. They are all not Chinese based and grounded. And in some extent, although we are linking together, I don't know what they are thinking about actually. But besides, for example, like in Germany, and I can perceive their meaning behind the context and so on. So it is more or less more relaxed, and so I would say the family value will be driven by some Chinese eco person and so who presents in China value in those kind of high stake conference and so on. But I don't know. I am not a person there. I don't know which kind of stake they are taking into their mind and holds the most important as their value or missions and so on. But I absolutely know what's the Western culture background. Person will carry on. Uh, uh, while have those kind of high stake meeting and so on. But that was very different, and they are more non-conscious, like somehow with the short history in whatever in eco and political area in environment, they do not have that much fear like in from the Chinese perspective, and they are more there to have more different experience in several areas and so on. Yeah. And in the middle of the year, the Summer Institute that they are holding in USA, so presenting the they're not presenting the Chinese value. That's why I don't know specific value to from the China perspective towards the world cooperative countries and so on. So that's kind of different. So I since here never stand in the point of view in China to observe this kind of eco situation in current state. So what I am now thinking about it is um, it is the U.S. eco value, uh, which they are somehow also not very much the same as German-speaking countries' economic value, which they are driven on. But more or less, yeah, more or less, I should go. More or less, it is like in this kind of style. For example, uh, for example, from I never been to USA. I don't know which kind of local culture in USA is, but which they are very to ties value in the highest ground, which they can present. It is more open and more dominant, not dominant, more confident and open towards the German-speaking country like the which I always say it's the German nation. They are came out some deep debt, so debt since the World War II and those eco recovery since those last decades and so. Yeah, absolutely. They have more integrity with themselves, but USA USA is somehow behaves in other way. So I feel strange, and we're gonna close the study live stream. I gonna see the uh, so difficult department and to say how they deal with my yeah my issue and so on. Yeah. See you guys then. Bye.